Welcome to the fifth and final installment in the Bridge the Gap DFS. The 5 steps help you manage your daily fantasy sports bankroll. This is step 5. This is the most important one, and this is the one what we're all here for. So step 5, you got to have fun. So pretty simple, but anytime I'm thinking about why am I playing DFS? Yeah, I want to make money. Yeah, I want to change my life. But at the end of the day, I got into this because it's fun. I love playing it. I love following sports. I love taking my knowledge, and passion for the games, and my love for problem solving and being able to change my life with it. So you got to remember, why you're playing, why you're going through all this, why you're putting all the effort. So before we dive into that, we'll just do a quick review from some of our previous installments. So we started out, you want to get your financial household in order. Step 2, having a plan. Step 3, be patient. And step 4, treat your bankroll like a business. So all those videos are available on the YouTube page. So obviously if you're here, you've probably already watched them. So we'll dive right in. Step 5, which always goes back to rule number 1. Why am I playing DFS? If I'm up in my head about something, or if I get in a cloud of, I can't think straight. Slow down, revert back. Why am I doing this? I want to have fun. If you're having fun, all of the work is going to be that much easier. So what's the opposite of fun? Well, not fun, obviously. These are some of the things that could be going on if you're not having fun. You're losing more than you can afford to lose. If you can't sleep at night, if you find yourself being irritable, either after a slate ends, the next day, you're getting into a fight with coworkers, with your wife, with your kids, you're yelling at the dog. It's not really a healthy way to live your life. So you definitely want to be thinking about and tuning into what your emotions are. Because if you're not having fun, we can usually go back to a common denominator, which we'll cover today. Another thing that you want to let go is you can't worry about what happened yesterday. Things are going to happen. The more you play this game, the more things are going to happen outside of your control that you can't get upset about. So you barely lost. You were winning and then a stat correction. Player injuries, a guy that you had in every single one of your lineups got hurt. I've read Bill Walsh's book, and one of the things he talks about in his book is in a 100% approaching winning a football game, you can only control about 80%. The other 25%, the way the ball bounces, penalties, referee judgment, instant replay review, things like that, that 25% is out of your control. So you only got to focus on what you control. And if it's something like a stat correction or a bad beat or a player injury, you didn't get screwed. It's a part of the game. It's what you signed up for. If you want to complain about that and it's affecting your play, you're playing this game with a loser mentality, and you've got to play this game with a winner mentality. You got to let that stuff go. So having fun, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of DFS. And what I mean by that is a winning streak feels like you're never going to lose again, which is great. You want to ride that momentum and that confidence for as long as you can, without creating any additional holes in your game or taking too big of steps outside of your bankroll, because that winning streak will feel like it's never going to end, but it will. And what you don't want it to do is propel you into a losing streak that starts out deeper or harder than it should. Because when you're losing, you've lost a night, 2 nights, 3 nights. I think my biggest losing period is like 3 weeks. It's awful, man. And there's some gut check moments. You're going to think about quitting. You're going to think about, what am I doing here? Woulda, shoulda, coulda. I wish I had that money. I wish I didn't play in that contest. Wish. And it's like, time out. You gotta get out of your head. You gotta center yourself. You gotta look at your process, and you do that by asking yourself questions. Tony Robbins is great for motivational type stuff. I'm not really a new age guy, and Tony Robbins, I don't think he considers himself a new age guy, but some people think he's too new agey. But if you just focus on some of his core principles, they're great. One of my favorite ones is quality questions create quality life. Successful people ask better questions. As a result, they get better answers. The questions about why you're not having fun come back to one theme. And this is typically the conversation that you're having when you're losing. When you're feeling caught up in that losing streak, that losing feeling, that man, it never feels like I'm going to win again. Man, I just want to break even because that's better than losing. And winning again is going to feel so far from you. You just got to take a break. You got to time out. You got to center yourself and ask yourself these questions. If I'm not having fun, why? You come back to some of the questions we've already discussed. Lost for too long. I'm losing too much money. I can't sleep because of the losses. I don't even know if I should be playing the game. Again, we're asking a question, and the answer to this question is very simple. The most productive things in life are the simplest, and our common denominator, if you're not having fun, it's the losses are hurting way too much. Very simple. And everything that's resulting in you feeling this way is everything that we've covered in this series. Bankroll management. We discussed bankroll management, how much you need to have in your bankroll, what a good bankroll staking plan is, being patient within that plan, playing games and sports that you're successful at, and you should have a proven track record before even jumping into these games. Sometimes I'll be talking with a new player, or not even a new player, a player who's been losing for a while, and hey man, I can't beat this game. Okay, well, what's going wrong? This, and this. Okay, well, we're working on this, and this. And we tinker, and it's like working on a race car, and we've got the race car back to get on the track, and we don't even know if the race car can make it around the track, and this guy wants to put the pedal to the metal, and the race car blows up. It's like, dude, you don't even know if your process works, so slow down, go slow, start at the very small stakes like I recommend. Again, most people aren't going to do that, so they're not going to be successful players. So I can't really help you. If you don't want to build good habits, you're never going to be a winning player. And it's a gut check. And I had the reason all of these videos and this channel exists is because all the freaking mistakes that I have made. And I'm here to try to help you guys not make those mistakes because it freaking sucks. It stinks. So we're here to make good decisions, to build good habits, to have a plus expected value strategy or process. Part of the reason I'm successful at DFS is I spent so much time, it's so top heavy in getting a process that works. But you know what? Every single day it's awesome because it's mainly just maintaining day to day your process, and you just show up and you execute and you know what results you're going to get. So if I have a losing streak, it sucks. Nothing gets easier. They always feel awful. But they feel less and less awful when you have a track record that you can refer back to. We'll talk about downswings in a future video and how to deal with them. But the point is, you got to have good habits. Otherwise, you're just tossing money into the fire like these guys that shovel money into the furnace after Anthony Davis has to go to the locker room. So transitioning from not having fun to how do we have fun, slow it down, man. Just get that good process locked in. Make sure you have a dedicated bankroll in place. If you're still struggling, go back and watch the video about getting your household and finances in order, how to stream up other income streams so you have more money to play with DFS. Playing contests where you can be successful. I'm not successful in playing in those huge contests, $100,000 to first place. That's not where I make my money. A lot of my contests come in the field sizes of 5,000 or less, and I just try to stick to where I'm successful. I like making money at the end of the night, and if it's $100, I'd rather win $100 playing in contests I know I can win than lose $500 playing in contests I don't have a great track record with. So again, lock in that process and that strategy. And again, if you are putting in money and you don't know it's work, none of this is going to help you because you need to have something that you know that works. So spend time on doing that. And if you don't know yet, that's okay. We'll get into other sports and I'll give you some tips and some insights about how to play those games. But you really want to get yourself in a good place mentally and a good place discipline-wise so that you're able to capitalize on once you're able to be a profitable player. And this is my attitude. We just saw the last clip, tortoise versus the hare. So much of success is failing slower than other people, and that's really all I'm doing. There's a handful of guys, a lot of the players that you heard about back in the day, Sohail Seed and Condia and CSU Ram and all these other guys that are just making a boatload of money. Some of them aren't even in the game, and some of them don't play nearly as often, and some of them have completely switched to not playing or playing different games. And the game changes, and not to take anything away from those guys because they're legends, but everybody is always trying to come after them and trying to come after and being the next big thing. So you really just have to make sure that you have all of these good habits so that you can continue to put yourself in a position to where, there's a lot of great players out there, probably a lot better than me, but they're not profitable because they're trying to be too big too fast, and that creates a bunch of mental clutter that doesn't allow you to be a successful player, on top of all of the other factors that we've talked about. So just go slow. I still struggle with this. You have, let's say you won $100 and you're feeling top of the world, but you see somebody that or you see on Twitter that someone won $500. All of a sudden, you don't feel so great about the $100 that you won, and that's you can't do that to yourself. And I've done it. I'm guilty of it. But you just gotta focus on, hey, you know what? Where was I this time last year? It's like, well, I wasn't even a profitable player last year. I was losing my tail a year ago, or I was, playing these dumb season-long leagues with my friends, trying to win $200 for months of work when, I can win $200 in a night now. That always helps you keep perspective. So just focus on yourself. And again, everything is so habit-based. I can't speak to how other people are successful. All I can tell you is, with the background that I have of not coming from poker or not coming from a finance background or computer science or a trust fund or some of the other advantages that some of these players that you know about have, this is what works for me. And again, if you like anything, take it and make it your own. If you don't like it, disregard it. So one of the things that you want to do with building these good habits is think about the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors aren't just winning one year and never to be seen again. They've built slowly. 2009, they got Curry. The year after that, they got Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. And then they missed the playoffs for 2 years. And then they made the playoffs the next 2 years, but exited. And then they won the title. And then they won it again. And then they're a Draymond Green technical foul away from winning a third straight title. Well, that led to them getting Durant. So, title with Durant, second title with Durant. They're the favorites to win a third year in a row. The point is, if you have good habits, if you have a good foundational structure, you have a good, they have a great culture, and that's why they win, and they play smart, and they are playing chess when everybody's playing checkers. And that's all we're trying to do here is put yourself in a position so that you can win the title every single night. I don't win every single night. I actually lose about half of the time. But normally when I have a winning night and everything clicks, it wipes out a week of losses, sometimes even more. Sometimes you can even make more in one night of DFS than you could in your day job. And that's not uncommon, and that's not just something people do at the top levels. That's very achievable at the lower levels. So put yourself in a position to click like Golden State. And again, all this comes back to everything we've been talking about. Make sure your DFS bankroll isn't blending or affecting your life bankroll. Be realistic. If you want to chase, if you've got $100 in your account and you want to chase that $100,000 every night, that's fine. But that's not what I do, and this is for everybody else. Start small, be realistic, slowly chart your progress up, because the further you go up, the longer that you stay in the game, the more confidence that you're going to have. When I first started, I was nervous to go from the quarters to the dollars, and it was really scary, and then it's not so scary, and then you go up to the $3 and then the $4, and I'm hovering around the $3 to $5 mark. That's it, and I play a ton of volume, and I've done very well for myself, and I'm nowhere where I want to be, but every time I get a little bit better and win a little bit more, I get a little bit more confident. And that protects my bankroll. Losses that I'm having this week, I had a loss this week that would have really negatively affected me as soon as a month ago, 3 months ago, a year ago. But because of the process, because I'm better, doing a better job protecting my bankroll, it doesn't hurt so much. And you have a large enough sample size to see, okay, this sucks, but look at my track record. I know things are going to trend in a direction that I'm going to recover from this. And all of a sudden you change your focus from, man, I can't believe how much I lost last night, to, that sucks. Going to get a great night's sleep. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not even going to talk to my wife about this because it's such a non, it's not even registering on my radar. And my track record shows that, I win 50% of the time, and I've got a 20% ROI. So a couple days away, maybe a week away from winning that money back and being even higher than I was. That's when you reach that place, you've made it. That's where you want to be. Losing and then taking your downward spiral in the other direction of, oh man, if I lose again, and then I'm going to have to make another deposit, and then I don't know what I'm going to do, and then my wife's going to be mad, and all this money. It's like, you can't be thinking that way. You've got to go in the positive direction. So put yourself in a position so when something negative happens, you're able to offset it with so much positivity and so much good things that you know you have accomplished and are going to accomplish that you don't worry so much. Again, I don't try to bang on the drum here. There's nothing special about everything we're talking about. It's very simple. Everything that we've talked in the videos, it all works together because it's all about building good habits. And when you're in a position to win every night and you start playing and you start your process, and for me it's at 2:30 every day. I'm going to start and lineups lock at 4, and I am fired up for that hour and a half, and I'm locked in and I'm excited because I know that I may not win tonight, but my numbers say over the long haul I'm going to consistently win, and that gets me excited. So I know I'm asking you guys to put in a lot of work, and we talked about all of the bad things that can happen. Why should you do this? And again, take what you like, make it your own. If you don't like any of this stuff and it's not for you, I understand. I appreciate you coming by and watching the videos, but all of the hard work leads to some really, really fun stuff. For me personally, I'm a winning player, and all of the sites will tell you that only about 10% of the players who play on the sites win. It may feel like a lot more people are winning than that, but they have the numbers. Their numbers don't lie, so it feels pretty cool to be in that top percent. Having a secondary income, DFS started out as a hobby for me. It's now a secondary source of income for myself, and there are months nowadays where it is earning more than my primary source of income, which is phenomenal. DFS has led me to have more money, which leads to more personal time, more time with my family, more time with my friends. I was working about 80 hours a week when I was working my day job prior to becoming a profitable DFS player, and I've been able to cut those hours in half. So more time to enjoy your life. These are all extremely fun things. I really appreciate you guys stopping by to watch the video. I'm always available if you want to get in touch with me. You can email me at alldayjg@yahoo.com. I'm on Twitter at SwinJG. My DMs are always open. I'm in the Discord at Manny's Chat and a couple other chats. You can find me on the Roto Grinders message boards. I'm very easily accessible. I love talking about DFS. There's plenty of people that I've helped with custom programs, help them work through certain issues. I'm here to pay it forward and help the new player that needs help. So feel free to reach out. I really appreciate you guys watching the videos. Thank you for stopping by. There's going to be ups and downs in your DFS career. Just enjoy the ride. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Please tell your friends. If you don't like it, don't tell your friends. This is going to wrap up the 5 steps for managing your DFS bankroll. In a couple of the videos, I promised a couple tutorials. So the next videos that I'll be rolling out are tutorials on some of the topics that we covered in this series. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Talk to you soon.